Well, there's a lot of reasons why somebody would want to have chickens, whether it's for their personal enjoyment or for business. I think one of the first ones is that they're child friendly. They're not going to run over your child like a bull or a cow. So it's small stock, which brings me to the second reason, and that is that you can start with low capital infrastructure. It doesn't take big corrals and big cattle trailers and the infrastructure that it generally takes to run larger stock, even including sheep.
I think that raising chickens, it definitely changes your life. It makes you more in tune with where you live and what you're putting in your family's body and what your food is eating. Whether you eat the chickens or you eat their eggs, you're feeding them a healthy diet. It makes you more aware of the weather. Is it going to be hot today? Is it going to be cold? Is it going to rain? It's a family activity. Everybody can have their own chores. So, I would say definitely raise chickens for the eggs, because the eggs are probably one of the healthiest protein sources and most economical that you could possibly feed your family.
The nice thing about beginners is that the chicken movement hasn't even crested yet. It's massively going over all of North America, including Canada. And people are understanding that, one, it's getting back to your food supply, but then two, chickens have been with humans over 10,000 years, and we evolved together. There's a wonderful book called How the Chicken Crossed the World. And did it migrate? No. Did it walk? No. How did it get there? It traveled with humans, even in their boats and wagons. Chickens were always with us. The Roman army traveled with chickens.
Because it's an omnivore, it's much more forgiving for novices than the herbivores. The herbivores, or the exotic, the herbivores, to finish them on grass is quite an art, and to learn all the variables of forage type and growth and which animals make tender meat and which ones don't, and processing, all those things. Whereas the chicken, because it's an omnivore and you're probably feeding it grain or kitchen scraps or whatever, it's much less picky on performance. They'll just go on out there and do their thing and be actually quite forgiving when you don't know a lot. So it's a great starter kind of thing because they're forgiving.
Chickens kind of round out the whole, whether or not you have a homestead or a farm or whatever, they're providing you manure for compost. They're also eating a lot of the things that you would compost or just throw away. So your waste basically goes down to zero, and your food bill goes down for them because they're eating a lot of your leftovers. Anytime I cook, I keep a bowl on the counter for them, and literally every meal I prepare, there's something that goes to the chickens. So you put their composted manure on your garden, you grow more vegetables for them to eat, for your family to eat. And it kind of just makes the whole circle, and it just seems to make life more meaningful, and I feel like I'm making a contribution.
Chickens are just the gateway to the local foods. They're the cornerstone, the gateway, the foundation, because they bring the livestock back into the culture. I can't have buffalo here in my backyard, but I can have all these chickens. And they do the same thing that the buffalo do. They manure the ground, they eat the grass.
All you've got to do is provide them a great habitat and make them happy, and their eggs will be 10 times better than what's in the store, and the meat will be 10 times better than what's in the store. So it makes a very forgiving starting setup.